Hello, my name is Trace. I'm working at the Kingman County Humane Society, and this right here is my buddy Midnight. And today we're going to be talking about Labrador Retrievers and kind of what makes this breed an amazing breed of dog. Let's get to it. That's right, you heard correctly. We're talking about Labrador Retrievers. Well, Labrador Retrievers are one of the most common dogs in America. In fact, the AKC ranks them as number one on their most popular. So you've probably heard of them before, and it's unlikely that you haven't seen one. Actually, you see one right there. That is Midnight. He was the dog that was with me there at the beginning of the video. Well, to accurately understand Labradors, we're gonna have to go back to when they first began. And you may think, well, this story is gonna begin in Labrador. You're wrong. Actually, it begins in Newfoundland. See, the people in Newfoundland were actually using dogs called St. John's water dogs to go about with retrieving their nets, retrieving fish, hunting, and a lot more. So, St. John's water dogs were very popular in Newfoundland during that time. Well, noblemen from the English country were actually coming over. They saw that these dogs were very smart, very tame, and also had a lot of great qualities that they needed when they also wanted to go hunting. For one, these dogs are great in water. They had webbed feet, which allowed them to swim faster, a rudder-like tail called an otter tail, which allows the dog to swim faster and more stably in water, and also a thick, dual-layered coat that kept out most water penetration deep to the skin, allowing them to swim in frigid waters. They were amazing dogs. You know, sounds a lot like the Labrador. Well, St. John's water dogs caught on really big in England. They actually were taken back by a man called the Earl of Malmesbury. And there's a lot of speculation around the significance of the Earl of Malmesbury when you're talking about Labrador Retrievers. And it's kind of overblown a little bit. For one, a lot of people think the Earl of Malmesbury was the person who gave the name Labrador to their dog, one stating that he's always called the dog Labrador because that's what his son liked. There's also stories about how every single chocolate lab in existence today actually came from a dog that was gifted by the Earl of Malmesbury. Are all these stories true? It's really hard to tell, but what we do know is they did start from the St. John's water dogs in Newfoundland. In fact, here is the oldest picture we actually have of a St. John's water dog. See, they actually had a striking tuxedo coloring. You know, white around the muzzle, white on the chest, and white on their paws. That was something that was bred out later when the Labrador became the more significant version of this dog. Well, the breeding towards a Labrador dog today actually kind of comes from dog shows and also the traits that were wanted with a hunting dog in the old English country. You can see a bunch of different pictures. I'll probably flash them on the screen over here as well, or in front of my face, of Labrador dogs that were in shows back over in the Kennel Club. Not the American Kennel Club, the Kennel Club over in England. So this dog has been around for a really long time. Let's talk about the Kennel Club, by the way. The Labrador was first officially denoted as a dog breed in the English Kennel Club in, let me check my notes, 1903. And the AKC, the American Kennel Club, didn't register the dog until 1917, and it was the 73rd. Well, now you know a lot of the history, and you know about how it became a prevalent dog in show. Well, let's give a few quick facts on Labrador Retrievers that are actually very interesting. Number one, since these dogs are so old and have been prevalent in show for a very long time, we actually have records dating back to 1878. That's how far a pedigree of some dogs can go. And let me check my notes again. It is Peter of Fascally and Flapper. Apparently, they've got really long pedigrees. A second really fun fact about Labrador Retrievers is their workmanship is so prevalent in their breed description that the English Kennel Club actually denotes that they have to have a working certificate to get into a dog show. That's just to show how much people value their smarts, the intelligence of this animal, even when it comes to shows that value, looks over much else. And kind of a sad little touch-up to the history lesson that we had earlier, the St. John's Water Dog actually no longer exists. The dog actually died out in breed prevalence because of a tax that was put on families in Newfoundland. The tax was to discourage families from having more than one dog, and the tax was higher for female dogs, which made the very prevalent St. John's Water Dog breed die out. It kind of is iffy on it when it exactly ended, but we do know that it ended between 1980 and 1990. That was the last time that St. John's Water Dogs were actually around. So let's talk. Is the Labrador dog good for you? Probably. It's actually an amazing dog for most families. Most are known to be very great with kids. Most are known to be really great with other animals. They're actually known for their super soft mouth because of their hunting capabilities, and game hunters don't want their trophies destroyed. So they're very gentle, very soft-spoken. Not when they're fighting, though. So if you do not like a really loud bark, maybe don't go with a Labrador, but they are a wonderful dog. As always, large dog breeds are prone to hip dysplasia, but otherwise, it's a very healthy and a wonderful dog breed to own. And a really great part of Labradors is they come in 3 distinct recognized colors. Labradors can of course come in yellow, they can come in chocolate, and they can come in black, like, our favorite Labrador Midnight here. And there's also a few unrecognized colorings, the most prevalent being silver Labradors. Though, some people argue that a silver Labrador cannot be a purebred Labrador Retriever, but silver Labrador breeders would argue that that's false. They have a purebred silver Labrador. So you get a little bit of a choice when you're looking for a Labrador Retriever, which is always nice. And our last fun fact, the oldest Labrador ever to live is actually disputed. Some say it is this Labrador that lived to be 27 years old. And others say that it is the Labrador Bella who lived to be 29 years old. Both extremely old dogs. Well, it depends on how much you value purebredness. Bella here was actually a Labrador cross, not a purebred. But the very fancy adjutant was a purebred. So it depends on what you want to decide. Finally, I want to say I have some great news. The dog that I've talked about a bunch, Midnight over here, he's actually been adopted and he looks to be having a great time. And if you want to look for a dog as well, you can go to our website, which is listed right there. You may be able to find your newest best friend, whether that be a dog, cat, or whatever else we have crawling about in our walls. So hopefully you learned a few things about one of America's most loved dog breeds, and hopefully we'll see you soon when you need your next best friend. I'm Trace Allen. I work for the Kingman County Humane Society. I'll see you next time.